About 3 months ago, 3 years have passed since I first moved to the land of delicious cheddar and knockoff Donald Trump. That was just a joke, Boris. You know I love you. Please don't deport me. Hello and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Dr. Gibberish and you can subscribe today to become my friend. You can even crush on the sofa, just not literally, or I'm gonna call the police. So I've been here for 3 years and so it happens I have just returned from a short trip to Poland, where I come from. And it really struck me how many small everyday things are vastly different in UK than they are in the rest of Europe. And yes, I said in the rest of Europe, because UK is in Europe, no matter how much you believe it is otherwise. After all, basic requirement of joining European Union in the first place is being in Europe, so unless we fire up some massive boat engines and just drift off into the Atlantic, we're still pretty much part of Europe. And just to remind you, the channel between Dover and Calais is just 30 kilometers across. It's an overglorified paddle, it is. But without further ado, here is top 10 things that have really taken me by surprise when I first moved to the UK. Number 10. Vinegar on everything. And I mean everything. I know it's kind of stereotypical for a fat guy like me to start a top 10 list from food, but as folks around here say, bloody hell. Eggs, bacon, sausages, mushrooms, fish, chips, anything that's edible can be showered with this sour liquid before consumption. And surprisingly to me, it's actually quite good. And I gotta say, even though I don't really know what it looks like from health point of view, like my liver might as well just look like dehydrated SpongeBob as we speak, but I really like vinegar, and especially on number 9, hot breakfasts. If you think about it, hot breakfasts are really quite logical and are not that unusual in continental Europe. After all, we have hot cereals and scrambled egg, but that's about as far as it goes. And UK takes it one step further with hot beans, hot mushrooms, hot tomatoes and hot bacon served for breakfast. And I gotta say, it just makes sense for breakfast to be nice and hot. It really keeps you going for the first few hours of work until the existential crisis eventually comes back to you and makes you realize that you're worthless and meaningless. But I really do like eggs and bacon, I do, especially if they come as number 8. Everything on toast. Baked beans on toast, cheese on toast, egg on toast, bacon on toast, you name it, you have it. It makes life so much easier just to put whatever you like on a freshly made toast and just eat it like a human being with fork and knife. It makes you feel so sophisticated yet so connected to your favorite food. Simply love it, especially with number 7, a nice cuppa. And I'm not even gonna mention how British people love tea, because it's something everybody knows. But it's the milk that is the real tea in here. You see, in continental Europe, the default whitener for your favorite brew is usually cream instead of milk, which British people prefer. And speaking of white, warm, delicious things, number 6, sheep. Literally, you can go anywhere, look into any direction at any given time, and you're guaranteed that you're looking at least 2 sheep. But that might be more of a Welsh thing rather than general British thing, as I have looked up the numbers and, well, it's not looking good for humans in Wales. There is 15 million sheep living in Wales with only 3.5 million humans living here. So if there is any sheep uprising brewing up, we don't stand chances. We will have to bow our heads to superiority of the woolen regime. But until that day comes, my friends, enjoy the lamb in shops. Ever-present lamb in shops. I have never seen so much lamb in my life as I have in the UK. Although still beef is my primary choice. I guess one could even say I have some sort of beef with lamb. And since we already dipped our feet into comedy, number 5, abundance of hilarious British sayings. Whether it's lovely jubbly, sound as a pound, or it's proper mint mate, it always cracks me up. Especially the Welsh, what's occurring? Honestly, every time I hear something like this for the first time without a warning, when my girlfriend just says it casually like she usually does, I cry. I cry the tears of joy. What makes me cry without joy, however, is number 4, windows opening outwards. I don't know whose idea it was to make them open in such peculiar way, but may this person rot in hell. And also all the windows that you just cannot access when they're open. Like literally we have to have window cleaning companies in the UK because some windows you just cannot clean yourself. But even those windows will still open for you. Unlike number 3, the British buses, if you don't wave at them. Imagine my surprise when I first time went to use the British public transport. So I went to the bus station, I looked up the timetable and I see, my bus coming in 5 minutes, so I'm like, alright, here it comes, and I can see it coming, and it just went straight past. And I thought, wow, that's kinda rude. So I waited for another one, only like 15 or 20 minutes, and another one does about the same thing. Then an older gentleman comes up to me and says, "Young man, you have to wave at them." And initially I thought it was really weird, but the more I used the public transport, the more I understood. It saves so much time if the driver doesn't have to stop at every stop just for the sake of it. And stopping a bus is as simple as waving at it, and once you're on board you just press a button for it to stop, so it's not really that difficult, and I believe it saves a ton of time in a driver's day. And speaking of drivers, number 2, the British way of driving, which is obviously on the other side of the road. After quite a long transitioning period when I kept slamming my hand into my door whenever I tried to change gears, I kind of realized I actually like it. Especially the right that there is no junctions of equal right roads. Every single junction is clearly marked who gives the way and who has the right of way. And roundabouts, so many roundabouts. I love roundabouts. I could talk about how great roundabouts are for all day long. And you know what else is great? Number 1, the British awareness of mental health. I cannot preach enough about how amazing UK is when it comes to mental health awareness. I don't know what it's like in other European countries, but in Poland, where I come from, if you come public about any kind of mental health issues, you ultimately sign yourself up for a premium subscription of a lifelong stigma. People will remember, people will criticize you for it, and they will always hold it against you. Whilst here you just go on a coffee break and you just casually hear people chatting about their experiences with ADHD and PTSD or, other things like that. And it's just normal, like you don't even pay that much attention to it because it's just so natural that someone can have some sort of problems. Like at this point, British general public is so aware of importance of mental health that you'd probably get more weird looks if you said to someone that you have hemorrhoids. Which, to be fair, is a weird thing to say in public. And that concludes the list of 10 things that have really surprised me in the UK. If you have enjoyed it, please let me know, because I have plenty more where these came from. As always, if you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you get a notification every time I upload my videos, so you don't miss out on the good old fun. If you're a bloody foreigner like yours truly, then let me know in the comments what surprised you in the UK upon your arrival, or just let me know what you think about the video. I'll reply to every single comment, so let's get the discussion started, baby! Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!